Okay, this one's a deep topic. Why do I always feel sad? Why, as a deeply sensitive person, am I always crying? Why do I always feel this way? Now, it's a question that I don't think a lot of people have had the courage to answer. Because to answer it, I'm going to have to call you out on some of your shit. I'm going to have to call you out on some of the things that you are running from. And I get it. I've done this most of my life. I've spent most of my life feeling sad. No idea why. I was just sad. I was constantly sad. And I got to the point where I realized that a lot of my sadness wasn't coming from me, it was coming from other people. That ability of mine to just pick up on what everyone else was thinking and feeling. And in order to make myself feel better, I started people pleasing. I made everyone else around me feel better. And then I would get a hit of feeling better. I would get a hit of happiness. So then I wasn't feeling so sad. But it never addressed the true underlying cause of my sadness. And it wasn't until I went on my own journey, when I went through the stages of courage, self-awareness, and radical self-love, that I truly discovered why I had been sad for so long. I had been running from myself. I had been hiding from myself. To some extent, some place within me knew I was a deeply sensitive person and that it was a good thing. Society's conditioning, parental conditioning, generational conditioning, all these different elements kept telling me that that part of myself was wrong and bad and should be hidden from the world. So I learnt to hate that part of myself. And it's a strong word, but now that I think about it, I truly did. I didn't like the fact I cried so much. I didn't like the fact that I felt things so deeply. But I kept running from it, which meant that emotion kept coming back. I was constantly sad because I was denying a huge part of who I truly was. It wasn't until I actually accepted the fact that I was a deeply sensitive person, that I did feel the world deeply. It did mean I cry quite a bit. It did mean that I wasn't just happy, I felt joy. I felt an extreme. When I accepted that part of myself, the sadness went away. I wasn't sad anymore. I wasn't operating out of anybody else's beliefs for me. I was operating from my own. I knew who I was, and I was okay with being a deeply sensitive person. I am okay with being a deeply sensitive person. I love the fact that I am this way. When I loved that part of myself, the sadness just disappeared. What's there to be sad about? This is an amazing part of who I am. Now, when I do cry, I'm not always crying out of despair. I'm crying out of love. I'm crying because I understand these extremes that I go through and that it is okay. It is an essential part of who I am. And I love that part about me. And I'm very rarely sad anymore. Yes, I had to go through that journey. Yes, the journey's not easy to pull out everybody else's beliefs and come back to the truth of who you are. But it's worth it because you're not sad anymore. You don't need to be sad. You are perfect just as you are. And when you accept that truth, that's when the sadness disappears. So look, if you're still in that sad phase, if you're struggling to get out of that sad phase, you're struggling to accept the truth of who you are, please reach out to me. I can do a 3-card intuitive reading and let you know the 3 steps you need to take right now to get out of that sadness, to reclaim your confidence and your courage so you can live a purposeful life. Because you don't need to feel sad all the time. You are not meant to feel sad all the time. We simply need to go within and find the truth of who you are. Love and kindness, my friends.